Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Ever get that, gambler's itch?
Mm.
That feeling you just know which way a game's gonna go.
Of course, we all have those moments of absolute certainty, right?
Exactly. And then you think, why not double down, triple down? Go for the really big win.
You're talking about accumulator bets, those multi-layered wagers where you're chasing that mega payout.
You know it. And that's what we're diving deep into today, accumulator payouts. We'll break down how they should work, but more importantly, how some betting companies might be using a sneaky trick to reduce your winnings.
It's all about understanding the math behind the odds, and trust me, a little knowledge here can go a long way.
Absolutely. So let's start with the basics. Why are accumulators so alluring? What's the big draw?
Well, simply put, it's the potential for huge returns. You're essentially combining multiple bets, and the winnings from each bet roll over to the next. So if you get lucky and all your predictions are right, those payouts can get really exciting.
Right, because instead of just winning on one game, you're winning on like 4 games in a row, all on the same ticket. It's that high risk, high reward scenario. But, and this is crucial for our listeners, how do those odds actually multiply? In a, let's say, a perfectly fair world.
Okay, so in a fair system, each individual bet you include in your accumulator has its own odds. To get the combined odds for the entire accumulator, you multiply the individual odds together.
Okay, so walk us through an example. Let's say I'm feeling really confident about 2 different football matches happening this weekend.
All right, let's say both teams you fancy have odds of 3.0 to win their respective matches.
So if I put a tenner on each of those teams individually and they both win, I'm looking at a decent profit already, yeah.
Exactly. With odds of 3.0, a $10 bet would win you $30. So two winning bets would mean $60 in total.
But if I'm feeling extra confident and I lump those 2 bets into an accumulator,
Then this is where the magic of compounding comes in. You'd multiply those individual odds together, 3.0 times 3.0, giving you combined odds of 9.0 for the accumulator.
so my same $10 bet could potentially win me.
Yeah.
How much is that?
With odds of 9.0, a $10 bet could win you a cool $90.
Wow. See, now I understand the allure, right? That's a massive difference in potential winnings. But here's where things get a little murky, and this is what our listeners really need to be aware of. The betting world, like any business, is out to make a profit, and they do that through something called the house edge.
Right. The house edge is basically a small percentage built into the odds that ensures the bookmaker makes money over the long run, regardless of individual bet outcomes. It's a standard practice in gambling.
But what you're talking about with these accumulators goes beyond the typical house edge, right? Tell us about reduced odds.
Now, while some reduction in odds is expected for the house edge, what some betting companies do is offer significantly reduced odds on accumulators, sometimes even lower than the odds of placing individual bets.
So using our football example, instead of getting those combined odds of 9.0 that we calculated, they might offer, say, significantly less.
Exactly. They might offer something like 2.8 instead of 9.0.
Wait, hold on. That means my potential payout for the same accumulator bet with those reduced odds is.
Significantly less. With odds of 2.8, your potential winnings from that $10 bet would drop all the way down to $28.
Wow. That's a huge difference. It's almost insulting.
It's a classic case of what seems like a small difference in odds having a massive impact on your potential payout. And here's the kicker. You'd actually be better off placing 2 separate $10 bets on each team individually.
Because you'd get the full 3.0 odds for each bet, potentially winning $30 per bet and a total of $60 if both win. That's more than double the payout with the reduced odds accumulator. This is why we're doing this deep dive, everyone. This is your money we're talking about.
Exactly. And the thing is, accumulators are already inherently riskier than single bets. If even one leg of your accumulator lets you down, you lose your entire bet. So to then slap on these reduced odds on top of that existing risk, well, it really stacks the odds against the bettor.
It feels downright unfair.
It undermines the whole principle of informed choice. If you don't have accurate odds, how can you make a truly informed decision about your bet?
All right, so for our listeners who love a good accumulator, what's the takeaway? What should they be looking out for?
The key message here is simple. Be vigilant. Don't just blindly chase those huge potential payouts.
Because those massive returns might be based on skewed odds that are actually reducing your chances of winning big.
Exactly. Take that extra minute, do the math yourself, calculate those combined odds, and compare them to the individual bet odds. See if what you're being offered is actually a good deal. You might be surprised by what you find.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, right? Especially when it comes to your hard-earned cash. Always double-check those odds.
It might seem like a small thing, but over time, even a slight difference in odds can make a big difference to your overall winnings.
You got it. Thanks for joining us on this eye-opening deep dive. Remember, folks, bet smart, bet informed, and always check those odds. We'll see you in the next one.